In the digital age, financial transactions have undergone a prompt shift globally. Digital payments, also known as e-payments, have become the backbone of financial interactions, from peer-to-peer transactions to retail and bill payments. The traditional pairs of cash, equities, and bank transfer and the evolving giving way to the incredible wave of global digitalizations in 2022. There were 1.6 billion researchers mobile money accounts worldwide, according to the World Cash Report. Researchers have actively exploring the implications of the digital remotion for individuals, businesses, and political markets. In Malaysia, interactives like PayNext and the RPP have transformed payments from cash and equities to digital transactions. 78% of Malaysians use more than one e-wallet applications, and the average monthly usage has risen significantly. Despite this advancement, challenges remain. The rural areas, 63.5% still prefer cash payments due to convenience.
The second chapter is literature review. Wang and Yunnan study reveals that digital payment enhances the efficiency and productivity of commercial banks, reducing costs and risks. However, challenges like technical updates and regulatory adjustments must be addressed for a seamless transition. We can divide the literature review into three parts. The first part is about economic growth. Switching gears to economic growth, GDP becomes a focal point. Insights all found a positive correlation between economic retail payments and economic growth in Europe. Counter reviews exist, with studies by Rivacumer and others providing diverse perspectives. The second part is about digital payment system and consumer awareness. Moving on to consumer awareness, Patty's survey of Malaysia consumers highlights positive perceptions of digital payment, safety, and convenience. Traditional methods still hold trust, indicating a need for adaptation to maintain competitiveness. The last part is about urbanization population. Urbanization plays a key role. May, Sahara, and Russian studies suggest higher urban household expenditures. However, PayNet's 2022 survey reveals a performance for cash payments in rural areas, challenging assumptions.
In this part, I will introduce research design and methodology. Chapter 3 of our study outlines a meticulous research design employing time series analysis. Why time series? It unravels long-term trends, harnesses readily available data, and captures short-term impacts, like the dynamic shifts in digital payments during the COVID-19 era. Time series analysis let us identify the long-term trends of digital payments in Malaysia, offering insights from 2019 to 2022. With a focus on digital payments over time, it aligns perfectly with the nature of our data, primarily observational. Examining the impact at specific points in time, like the post-COVID-19 era, becomes clearer with time series analysis. Processing time series data is simplified, requiring fewer resources, making it an apt choice for our study. Our study centers on Malaysia, utilizing data from the Central Bank of Malaysia and the World Bank. We analyze digital payment transaction volume, subscribers, and urbanization, with residents' consumption expenditure as the dependent variable. To scrutinize the correlation between digital payments and the Malaysian economy, we constructed an econometric model. Digital payment is divided into three levels: transaction volume, subscriber, and urbanization, influencing consumer expenditure. Here's our conceptual model depicting the relationship between digital payments and consumer expenditure in Malaysia. To test our hypothesis, we employ a regression model with coefficients delta 0, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, and epsilon 4. The model helps us understand the impact of digital payments on consumer expenditure over time. For clarity, we have scaled variables such as digital payment transaction volume, DPTV, number of digital payment subscribers, DPS, urbanization level, UL, and consumption expenditure, CE. This is all for our methodology. Thank you.
Our exploration begins with Table 1, a descriptive canvas of 48 observations, unveiling mean values of 25.63, 19.07, 17.82, and 17.06 for in CE, in DPTV, in DPS, and in UL, respectively. Symmetry echoes through median values, painting a picture of a relatively balanced distribution. Explore the range with maximum and minimum values, while standard deviation measures the dispersion around the mean. Table 2 invites us into the realm of correlation analysis. Witness the dance of variable. In CE, intertwined with in DPTV, in DPS, and in UL. In DPTV aligns with in DPS and in UL. In DPS and in UL share a close bond at 0.9978. In summary, High positive correlations paint a vivid picture of a strong positive relationship between in CE, in DPTV, in DPS, and in UL. These findings offer valuable insights into the intricate interplay between these variables, guiding us towards further analysis. Transitioning to time series regression, Table 3 unfolds the results of augmented Dickey-Fowler test, a crucial step in investigating changes between variables. Unit root tests become our guiding compass. Table 3 reveals the stationarity journey in DPTV, in DPS, in UL, and in CE standing firm at the first difference, signaling statistical significance. We explore a comprehensive analysis of economic trends through unit root test and regression analysis. Our journey begins with unit root test, specifically the Phillips-Person test, confirming the stationarity of key variables, DPTV, DPS, UL, and CE. Consistency reigns as both ADF and PP tests agree. DPTV, DPS, UL, and CE are stationary at the first difference, statistically significant at a 0.05 significance level.
In this study, we conducted ordinary least square regression analysis to test the relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable in order to validate the model. From the result, we found that all independent variables are significant with p-values below 5%. The coefficients indicate a positive relationship between digital payment, transaction volume, and digital payment subscribers with consumption expenditure. However, the urbanization level shows a negative relationship with consumption expenditure. Both R-square and adjusted R-square value for the model are about 96%. This high value indicates a strong goodness of fit, show that the model effectively explains the variability in the dependent variable. It is important to note that a high R-square value suggests that the independent variables included in the model are highly correlated with the dependent variable, further supporting the validity of the model. To summarize, the ordinary least square regression highlights significant relationship between dependent variable and independent variable except urbanization level. This means that for more cases, the relationship between the variables is clear and can be used to map predictions. However, it should be noted that when considering the urbanization level, the relationship may not be as strong. Therefore, it is crucial to carefully evaluate the impact of urbanization when conducting further analysis.
Okay, Doctor, this is Michan, and now I'll present our group conclusion and future research direction. So first and foremost, thanks for fantastic data analysis, which gives us a very clear insight on the relationship between digital payment trend, urbanization, and the consumer spending in Malaysia. So let's dive into it. We can see that the three independent variables have different impact on the dependent variable. The first two independent variables, which is digital payment transaction volume, DPTV, and number of digital payment subscribers, DPS, have positive relationship to the consumer expenditure. On the other hand, urbanization level have a negative relationship which is quite contrary to our expectation. We have repeatedly examined and tested the model, but we are unable to find the root cause. So we propose the potential reason for this contrary relationship. Firstly, the current indicator for urbanization population may not fully capture the impact of urbanization on consumer spending. A refinement of urbanization indicator might help explain this abnormal. Secondly, some potential factor could be consumer behavior, economic condition, and government policy, which might impact on the consumer's digital spending habit. Now, we will present the future research direction. Firstly, we suggest to use a longer time frame data in order to analyze the relationship better. Besides that, we also propose to conduct consumer behavior survey in order to understand the consumer preferences toward digital payment and their spending habit. On top of this, the future researcher should consider the impact of policy as it might explain the relationship between the urbanized population and consumer spending. Lastly, we will share some recommendations which we conclude and believe this can regulate Malaysian economy. First of all, we should improve the convenience of the electronic payment. And of course, while improve the usability, we also have to ensure the transaction security. Lastly, government can play a part by launching some variable policy, for example, giving the BR1M via the e-wallet. This can help to foster the habit toward the digital payment. So join us in this transformative journey toward a digitally empowered Malaysia. Thank you.